About some rules in the book that nobody read no more. Let me get into the story from the cell real quick. I'm walking in the yard. I'm in the penitentiary. I think I probably had about like 7 more years to go. I'm in the yard, Greatest Ford State Penitentiary, the biggest penitentiary in Pennsylvania, State Pen. So when I walk in the yard, one of my homies, he worked on the intake block. So he like, yo, man, there's some young boy came on the block. He said you his uncle. I say, uncle? I'm like, my nephew in the joint. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. So he say, man, his name Charles. I say, Charles? I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So he say, listen, man, listen, I'm going to have him write you a letter. When I'm going to bring the letter to you to the next yard. I say, cool, this is my OG Walt I'm talking to. He bring the letter to me. And I'm like, oh. Now I got like 7 years to go on a 20-year bit before my freedom come. I read the letter, I'm sitting in the yard, I'm like, damn. This cat I used to have with me when he was a little kid. I'm talking about riding around on bikes. I'm talking about giving him change and shit and money to go to the store and shit like this. Now, years later, he's sending me a letter from the block in the penitentiary, and he's stuck. He got life now. Young cat I used to, you know Lil Charge, yeah, Jackie Bone's son. So I'm like, damn. I go back, because this guy, you know, you leave the streets, you see this young cat, he riding the bikes, being a kid. But I realized the streets done got him. You know, and he became a victim of the street culture. And, you know, I knew who he was, but I think he forgot who he was, and he leave himself, because in the streets, we leave ourselves because we chasing acceptance. And I realized that was something that probably happened with him, not knowing his case altogether, so I'm not going to speak on that. But I know a lot of times in the street culture, we always got to prove ourselves. And it's about acceptance a lot of times. And a lot of people that's operating in the streets, a lot of them ain't killers. They not really tough. But if you see one of your friends get victimized, they get their brains blown out, or get up, that immediately put fear in you. You rolling around with this pistol because you're scared to death. Now, to those that's out there that's stepping outside of themselves because they want to be a part of this culture that they call the street game, and they want to be a real, think about it. And ask yourself, you got 30 in you? Do you got 10 in you? Do you got life in you? Could you do it? That's the case. Really ask yourself that. And then say to yourself, is I'm built for this, or I'm going to tell? Because when they come, it ain't no doubling back. Ain't no, damn, let me get out. Ain't no, you signed up for it. But is you built for what you signed up for? And some of y'all really ain't signed up, because a lot of people, I'm going to be straight up with it, a lot of you niggas done got in the streets and don't even know what you got into. It was no education about the rules and the regulations of this. And like I called Gil one time, and like a young cat told me that was snitching in jail, he told us, OG, y'all niggas living by some rules in the book that nobody read no more. So when we talking about the street game, it's really talking about some real street shit. Ask yourself that. But my young boy, he in the penitentiary doing life right now. He went from me knowing him as a little kid to now he doing life. I don't know the circumstances and the situation, but really think before you move out there. You know, that's just a message to everybody that's operating outside of the law and really don't even know why they operating. What's your purpose or what's your goal? Is you out there to get money? Because if you is, the violence don't come. You know what I'm saying? If you out there, you in the streets to make money, not to make headlines. When the violence come, that's when the feds come. So think about how you moving and how you want to move and what you want to do with your life. I ain't gonna say too much of that. That's stories from the cell.
Hungry hemorrhoid.